Alright, what is up all my Skeletoons? Welcome back to another live stream where I'm going to be continuing from episode 3 on Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. And I can't believe the last time I played was February of last year. A lot of time has passed since then. So hopefully things will go a little better this round. So basically, as you're going through the cases and stuff like that, all the evidence that you have and whatnot. What I like to do is like to see if everybody else in the stream or in the chat, whatever, can actually solve the case too, or actually progress the case further. See what you guys think and what would be the proper way to go about things, rather than just me just showing everything. I mean, I've played through all these games before, but then again, it's been many years since then. I already know who the actual culprits are and all this kind of stuff. It's just every little thing that goes in between that I don't remember everything. So there's still a matter of like putting all the pieces together, basically. Anyway, so we shall see. Alright, so this is actually going to be the day 3 trial. So I think we've already been in trial already. Day 2 was more like investigation, so we're going into trial at the start of day 3. So let's jump into this. I'll have to like do a refresher. I will definitely have to do a refresher of like what evidence and stuff that I have collected. So this is our client, Will Powers. Mr. Wright? Why do you look so unhappy? Oh, nothing. Really, it's nothing. Right, Mia? Oh, she looks even unhappy. Phoenix. Your client is now practically a dead man walking. Perhaps that's why I feel particularly close to him. This is no time for dead people jokes, please. You know we're going into this trial utterly defenseless. Yet, if Mr. Powers is truly innocent, we should be able to find something overlooked in the evidence to prove it. Something overlooked. You have to find something, Phoenix, today. It's that, or lose the trial. This isn't going to be on NS. Yes, this is on Nintendo Switch. The original games were on DS, though the Japanese version of this game was originally on a Game Boy Advance. But when it was brought to English translation, they moved it to the DS. So the first 4 games, which was Ace Attorney, Phoenix Wright, then it was God damn, I'm spacing on the second one's title, but the third one is Trials and Tribulations. And then after that, it was Apollo Justice Ace Attorney, and then the Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright, Phoenix Wright or Ace Attorney Dual Destinies, and Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice are on the 3DS. So the first 4 games can actually be played on the DS, or you can play it on a DS emulator if you want. But yeah. Here we go. But it definitely looks a lot better than it did on the DS. So this is these are our evidence right here. Like obviously you can't use the attorney's badge as evidence because that just shows that Phoenix Wright is a defense attorney. So we have the autopsy report. which just shows the time of death was October 15th at 2:30 p.m. Pierced through the chest by a spear. Then we have this picture of somebody dressed as the what was that character's name again? Steel Samurai, that's what it is. Somebody was dressed as the Steel Samurai, looking like they were dragging their leg. And we have the map, so you can view the photo a lot bigger. And then we have the map of the studio. And they were saying that this incident happened like on the way to, it was either on the way to Studio 1 or Studio 2. I think it was Studio 1. This is the so-called murder weapon. Break in the shaft has been mended with duct tape. Empty bottle found on the table of the employee area. The label reads sleeping pills because Will Powers says he was actually asleep during the time of the incident. He was literally in his trailer sleeping. He has sleeping medication, or a sleeping medication to prove that. Why does this make me think of Clue? I mean, so I guess. Honestly, I'm not sure how much the trilogy cost. I want to say it was like $20 or $25 for the trilogy. Then we have Mr. Monkey's Head blocked the path of the scene to the scene of the crime between 2:15 and 4 p.m. because apparently a storm caused it to come down. And then the path to glory contains photos of every victory scene and every battle the Steel Samurai has won. This was evidence from the little kid who's like a huge fan of the Steel Samurai. It was blue in kitchen, the candlestick. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Powers. Prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. An unexpected fact has come to the attention of the court. Yesterday we learned that there were other people present at the studio. Today I would like to show evidence proving they had nothing to do with the murder. Very well. You may call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. I only have $32 and I really want Undertale. Prosecution calls Mr. Sal Manella to the stand. Sal Manella. Or that director. Yeah, he looks like your typical weeb, doesn't he? Will the witness state his name and profession? Yeah, he is your stereotypical weeb. Like, especially when it comes to anime. How rude can't you get? And seriously. Especially when someone talks like that. How rude can't you get? Jew? Talking about Jews? I can't stand people who say Jew instead of could be just the language they speak. Maybe they're from like Finland or something where J's have a Y sound. Don't post from 34 and hashtag Jim. Right. crunching sound, that's the sound. Crunching a bottle. Let's go. Alright. You don't know me? I'm the director. I make the Steel Samurai, noob. Raffle. Yeah. Sal Manella. I'm a director. Television. Were you at the Global Studios on the day of the murder? Yes, Your Honor. Very well. Please testify to the court about the events of that day. Let's start by picking this testimony apart. If Powers is innocent, you know what that means. Someone in the trailer on that day did it. Right. She doesn't waste any time putting pressure. Day of the murder. I was at the studios from around 9 o'clock that morning. During the morning, I was doing, action scene run-through. It took a lot more time than I thought it would. I hear that everyone else at lunch. I hear that everyone else ate lunch in the employee area. But I had a meeting in Studio 2 trailers, so I ended up skipping lunch. We were in the meeting until around 4 o'clock. During the meeting, well, I'm pretty sure no one left their chairs. That's about it. The time of Mr. Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m. According to your testimony, you were in a meeting at that time. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. The day of the murder. I was at the studios from around 9 that morning. Is that when you always come into work? Oh no, I come in all sort of hours. It's the industry way. How the freaks in the industry. Still, FWIW, I was pretty busy all that day. Okay, what is FWIW? Does anybody know what that's an acronym of? FWIW? I honestly have no clue. Oh, for what it's worth, apparently. Still, for what it's worth, I was pretty busy all that day. Okay. For what it's worth. I mean, I guess that's good to know. Tell us more about that. During the morning, I was doing, an action scene run. In the employee area? That's right. It was a fight scene between the Steel Samurai and the evil magistrate. Was anyone else at the run-through? Oh yeah, that security lady was sitting there watching the whole thing. She was cheering on camera. Everyone has the looks for it. Nope, just us four. It took a lot of time. It took a lot more time than I thought it would. Why did it go on so long? Pretty sure you've already heard about this, but WP, Will Powers, twisted his ankle during the run-through, see? Alright, that's the thing. Which of course led me to missing my lunch. Was starving? Rolling on the floor, starving? I hear that everyone else ate lunch in the employee area. What exactly did they have for lunch? T-bone steak. The assistant cooked some up. Come to think of it, there was a plate with some bones on it in the employee area. Everyone else, meaning that the witness, did not eat with them. But I had a meeting in the Studio 2 trailer, so I ended up skipping lunch. So in the end, you didn't get to eat. Yeah, no steak at least. Can't you believe it? That must have been tough. Yeah. Doesn't something about that seem odd to you? Something about that seem odd? So Manila is our client. No, Manila's not our client. He's just a witness. Our client is Will Powers. If I go to the court record, and go to profiles. This guy right here is our client. He is the person who plays the Steel Samurai. The victim is Jack Hammer, who played the evil magistrate. This guy is just a witness. He's the director. This lady at the end, Dee Vasquez, is the producer. Where is Will Powers? Will Powers is not on the stand, so he just sits there quietly and lets the defense attorney, which is myself, do all the work. Or I should say, Phoenix Wright. Doesn't something about that seem odd to you? It's a little vague. Actually, there's something bothering me. Mr. Manella, just now you said steak, at least. So you ate something other than steak. Yeah, good call. I had some chocolate in my pocket, which I used to stave off starvation. I see. Is that all? I was sure it was all this. I'll do this again. Steak it. Let's see what happens if I say it's gone. I guess it doesn't matter which one you say, probably. When I went to Studio 2, I saw something on the table. There were 2 plates, the same kind of plates as the ones in the employee area. Who ate lunch there? No, good call, Spence. I was embarrassed, so I didn't mention it, but I did eat after all. T-bone steak, you mean? Yeah, well, I mean, the assistant went through all that trouble. I brought it to the trailer thinking I could eat it later. You're a man who likes to eat, I suspected. So when did you eat it? We took 1 break during that meeting. I wolfed it down then. That's an image I will carry with me to my break. Wait a second. If they took a break in that meeting, that contradicts his testimony. I'll press on that bit. What were you discussing? The Steel Samurai story and our budget. Get this, the sponsors turn to me and say, Mr. Manella, those scripts of yours are not appropriate for children. Can't you believe it? Actually, I kind of can, see? So, nobody left the table during the whole meeting? During the meeting, well, I'm pretty sure no one left their chairs. Pretty sure, huh? You didn't take a single break? Well, yeah, not a one. He's sweating so much, I wonder. If only I had an idea. Wait a second. Maybe I do have an idea. Wait a second. Mr. Manella, you just contradicted yourself. Didn't you just tell the court that you ate a T-bone steak during a break? Oops, Rockle. Well, Mr. Manella, what's this all about? Well, yeah, I guess we did take a little break. Phoenix, great job. If they took a break, one of them could have gone to the studio during that time. See, you're like, liar! Your Honor, I call the witness to testify to the court about this break. Very well. Mr. Manella, your testimony, please. Uh-oh, Edgeworth is laughing. As Edgeworth does. Yeah. What did I just say it meant? For what it's worth, we took a break, Laura. But it was only about 15 minutes. 15, that's only 13 in base 12. Not enough time for someone to say, commit murder in Studio 1, LOL. That's only just enough time to eat a T-bone steak, if you ask me. I don't think it would even be enough time for that, but that's just me. Very well, he may begin. The break. Rolling on the floor, laughing, yeah. That's what I thought it was funny when he said ROFS and he's like rolling on the floor starving. Because he was hungry, I guess. I'm gonna press on it. What time exactly did you take this break? was from around 2:30 or so until 2:45. But it was only 15 minutes. 15, that's only 13 in base 12. Dude, it was 15 minutes. Eating a T-bone steak, what else? But were 2 plates. There were 2 plates on that table. Alright, the other one was Diva's. Sorry, D. Vasquez's plate. D. Vasquez, the producer. You eat a T-bone steak in 15 minutes, that's quite a feat. Not enough time for someone to say commit murder in Studio 1. Why is that? Haven't we had enough of this pointless line of questioning? Your Honor, the testimony up to this point has made one certain fact painfully clear. The people in the trailer had nothing to do with this murder. It was impossible for any of them to go to Studio 1. What? Something wrong, Mr. Wright. Surely you weren't suggesting one of the people in the trailer went to Studio 1. Well, Mr. Wright, Phoenix, this is critical. Think about it before you give your answer. Do you claim someone from the trailer went to Studio 1? So, at this point, we are not trying to say that somebody from the trailer went to Studio 1, if I'm correct about this. Because if you try to say you claim it and claim it loud, they're going to ask you to prove it. And if you can't prove it, then that's about it. But, because if I remember the events that happened, no, nobody left Studio 1, so... I don't want to write off so many possible suspects, but I can't keep claiming the impossible either. I agree that it was impossible for anyone in the trailer to go to the studio at that time. Haha! Thought you might be thoughtlessly treading on thin ice again. But I see you had at least an inkling of the truth. What do you mean, Mr. Ed? It's quite simple. True, the break in the trailer meeting came right at the time of death. However, the path from there to the scene of the crime was blocked. The fallen Mr. Monkeyhead barred the way. See, this is what... I mean, basically it would just come to this if you tried to say... yes, somebody did, but yeah. Around 2:15, the strongest of wind knocked off the studio mascot's head. Ergo, when the people on the trailer took a break at 2:30, the way to the studio was blocked. Blocked by Mrs. Monkey's severed head. I thought it was Mr. Monkey. It's actually Mr. Monkey, but Edgeworth has a point. Somehow I feel no desire to correct him. I believe that we have seen enough evidence. I would like to relieve Mr. Manella from the stand. What? It's over? Very well. The court's opinion on this case is as follows. We have found that there were several other people in Studio 2 on the day of the murder. However, it is clear that none of these people could have gone to Studio 1. They, therefore, have no relation to this case. Furthermore, with regards to the photo of the Steel Samurai, given the size of the costume, no one other than Mr. Powers could have worn it that day. All that is lacking is decisive evidence that he is the one who did it. If we had that, I'm afraid I would have to find Mr. Powers guilty. Your Honor, the prosecution is pleased to announce that we have indeed decisive evidence, a witness. Who is this witness, Mr. Edmund? My witness saw the very moment when the Steel Samurai skewered the victim. Order! I will have order! The court will take a 10-minute recess, after which we will hear your witness. Court is adjourned for the recess. Alright, the defendant, lobby number 1. Good now, yeah. If everyone in that trailer has an alibi... Sorry, Phoenix. I guess I was wrong. Mia? Don't tell me you're giving up. If you give up, what hope do I have? Get me wrong. Never given up on trial before. Not while there was a chance. Only one thing became clear in your cross-examination. The people in the trailer could not have gone to Studio 1. I thought there was more to it than that, but I was wrong. That's all there is. What's going to happen to me? It kind of seems like everyone in that courtroom thinks I did it. They think I'm a murderer. Don't worry, Mr. Powers. If you are innocent, we will prove it, I guarantee it. Leave it to us and be yourself, be strong. You are the Steel Samurai, a hero to the children everywhere, after all. Who is Edgeworth? Friend or fiend? Well, to be fair, there is a history between Edgeworth and Phoenix Wright, because they were childhood friends. But Edgeworth grew under the... Like, you'll find out more about Edgeworth in, I believe it's in Chapter 4, which is the next case after this one. No. Yes? Yes. I think it's after this case you'll find more about, Edgeworth and his upbringing. Which is why he is what he is today. But as the game progresses, you do become more buddy in a sense with Edgeworth. He's still his typical stone-faced self. He doesn't really laugh or smile that much, but he still ends up showing more respect to Phoenix Wright as the games progress too. So he's even known to help later on as well. If you want to know more about it, I recommend you watching the Phoenix Wright anime. It is based off the games. Okay, Phoenix. This one's for the kids. Let's do it. But right now, that is Maya Faye, but she is channeling her late sister's spirit, Mia Faye, which is why she looks like that. Court is back in session for the trial of Mr. Willpower's prosecution is a concern. As our witness is a grade schooler of tender years, and this is a murder case, we worry that the defense might cause unnecessary trauma with this cruel questioning. Nice to see Edgeworth taking the moral high ground. However, we have no choice. The prosecution calls Cody Hackins to the stand. Your Honor, perhaps you could arrange a box for him to stand on. Oh, right. Guard, please bring him a box. One of those donut crates should do. Alright, see you later, Furret. Will the witness state his name and grade in school? Witness. What? Just because you're all grown up don't mean you can push me around. I always thought this kind of stuff was fun. Hey, Brian. Cody, answer his question, okay? Hey, it's you, the nice lady. I'm Cody Hackins. I'm in the 2nd grade. I get the feeling this is going to be a long, long day. Mr. Edgeworth, please remember that you're speaking to a child. Try to be gentle. It's funny that his own thing just kind of backlashed against him. Witness, Cody. He's having trouble with this gentle thing. You were present, or you were at Global Studios on the day of the incident. You got a problem with that? Please tell us what you saw that day. What, Pops? You want me to... What, Pops? You want me to tell you and Gramps with the beard over there? Just Mr. Edgeworth and fine. I prefer beard and gentle than a very long day. Why is it lagging, or is it just you? Why is what lagging? Like the game? I don't know if the game is lagging, or it's just I'm reading it. The stream is lagging. The stream's not lagging on my end. Stream when the text box was shaking. I honestly don't know, Glitch. Incidentally, photographic equipment is strictly forbidden in this courtroom. My apologies, Your Honor. He said he wouldn't testify if he couldn't bring it. I'd like special permission if that's possible. Wait, so you're saying you had to bargain terms with a kid and you lost? Hey, I just got this new camera. Don't really know how to use it all that good yet. But I bring it with me wherever I go. Phoenix. I wonder if he had that camera the day of the murder. You'd better make a note of that in the court record. Very well, Cody. Please testify to the court about what you saw the day of the incident. Hey, speaking of camera coincidence. Film camera? Oh, one of those old things. I wanted to see a Steel Samurai rehearsal, just once. I found a map on the internet and went to the studios that day. I went through the woods off the path so the old lady wouldn't catch me. I was going for the studio. I got kind of lost on the way, though, for about 30 minutes. When I came out behind the studio, there was the Steel Samurai. Totally rocked, right before my eyes. Out came the bat gun. The Steel Samurai took it down. Ah! If I had my camera with me, that would have been the time for a shot, I tell you. Anyway, I couldn't get into the studio, so I went home. Plus, it's really detailed. Cool. Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination, but be gentle. Remember, you're talking to a child. This kid's tougher than most adults we see in here, honestly. I wanted to see Steel Samurai in person, just once. You really like the Steel Samurai, huh? Of course I do. I've taped every show. I go to all the live performances. That's impressive. Have you been to the amusement park? Of course. Duh. That always takes me. Found a map on the internet and went to the studio. Alright, Brian. Was that day the first time you've been to the studio? Actually, I've been a couple of times. I never managed to get there on a rehearsal night. That security lady's always yelling. Right, please continue. Chill, Pops, I'm getting to you. How am I supposed to talk when you cut me off all the time? Jeez. It's funny. Edgeworth is not good with kids. I went through the woods, off the path, so the old lady wouldn't catch me. Off the path? Yeah, you know, by how the studios are in the valley there. You go off the path a little, there's woods. That's where I was. I see. Anyhow. It's pointless information, but I like to press everything. I was going for the studio. Did nothing unusual happen on your way to the studio? Usual? Did you see this monkey by any chance? Oh, you mean Mr. Monkey? Yeah, I saw him, but his head wasn't busted. So you went straight to the studio. I got kind of lost on the way, though, for about 30 minutes. Oops. You got lost in the woods? Yeah, I couldn't figure out which way I was walking. Man, I was relieved when I saw the blue studio doors. But guess what happened next? I came out of the studio, there was the Steel Samurai. The Steel Samurai? Yeah, he was standing by the studio gate. It looked like he was thinking about something before going in. Then he opened up the gate and went inside. See, I'm done. With the rock right over my eyes, out came the bad guy. So what sort of bad guy was it? A guy, a person, kind of tall, skinny. You sure it was a guy? I don't know. He was kind of far away. Not too bad. Of course, the Steel Samurai took it down. Bow! I'm wondering if I should present him with that. What happened to the bad guy? Huh? Well, he kind of didn't move. Not a bit, like he was dead. Guess he's a real pro and a great actor. Yes, I suppose he was. If I had my camera with me, that would have been the time to shout at him. If you had your camera? You mean you weren't carrying your camera then? No, I wasn't. It's not like I have it all the time. Really? Guess seeing the killing freaked him out. Phoenix remembered he's a child. Use gentle words, but be firm. He said. So I'm getting docked points. So I have to present something somewhere. Maybe it's there it is. It was presenting his camera. Second. Cody, what you just said seems, well, a little strange. Didn't you say before that you always bring your digital camera wherever you go? You were quite clear about that. Huh? Cody, you shouldn't lie here. You understand that, right? Mr. Wright, a word with you. What is this digital camera contraption you're talking about? It's a digital camera you're on. It's kind of a new sort of camera. Anyway, Cody, I can't believe you wouldn't bring your camera on a trip to the studios. You did bring it, didn't you? Mr. Wright, how cruel are you to terrorize a poor child? I don't care if he's a child or a prosecuting attorney. No one should lie in court. What do you mean, or a prosecuting attorney? Well, Cody? What? Yeah, so I had my camera. So what? You got a problem with that? So you did have a camera. Did you use this camera? Why would I use it? I was too busy watching. Well, please testify to the court about what you were busy watching. I know at some point I have to, I think, show that picture too. Yeah, I had my camera with me, but I was glued to the action. I couldn't take my eyes off it. The Steel Samurai, he goes for the bad guy. Wham! Then the bad guy stopped moving. He's so strong, the Steel Samurai rules. Is that all? Well, that was brief. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. So why didn't you use it? He's getting to that. Relax and listen. I didn't use it because I was too busy watching the real thing. But I was glued to the action. I couldn't take my eyes off it. So you were watching the Steel Samurai. Did you watch the whole fight? Yeah, of course. You didn't turn away, not even once? No. Okay, then tell us exactly what happened. Yeah, getting to that. Steel Samurai, he goes for the bad guy. Wham! So the bad guy attacked him first? Yeah. So what sort of person was this guy? I told you, a person. He was a person. How was he dressed? I kinda don't remember. I was too busy watching the Steel Samurai to see what happened next. Then the bad guy stopped moving. Why? Huh? What do you mean, why? So the bad guy moved. Well, the Steel Samurai brought him to justice. How exactly did he do that? Did he do it? With a samurai kick, the samurai punch, samurai chop, samurai slap, something like that. Still being vague about this. What? Don't give me that look, Pops. I'm trying to play this. You can see what happens. Cody? What? Something's bothering me. Before you said that you couldn't take your eyes off the action. Yeah, so what? You missed the most important part. Objection! What's the meaning of this? The witness has stated what he saw quite clearly. You know as well as I do that he's being vague. Tell me what kind of murderer uses a samurai slap? What kind of murderer slaps somebody to death? Yeah, the kid calls every adult older than him Pops. Because everyone seems to be like the age of his father or something. And if they are really old, he calls them Gramps. My point is this, Cody, you may have seen some of the Steel Samurais fight, but you missed the most important part, the killing blow. Order, Mr. Wright. How could this be? Can you explain how he might have missed something so vital? Oh, well, that's the thing. Phoenix, I believe you're on the right track with this thing. Why didn't Cody see the climax of the fight? I know you can figure this out. Mr. Wright, your answer. We have ascertained that this young boy is a great fan of the Steel Samurai. Why wouldn't he watch the climax of the fight? This is where I'm trying to understand something. So if I was trying to think through this logically, I would say he wasn't able to, he missed it because he was fiddling around with his camera because he's trying to figure out how his camera worked. New digital camera Cody always carries it, though he's still learning how to use it. The camera? The witness stated that he recently received this camera. Yes, I'm aware of that. He wasn't entirely familiar with its operation. I'm aware of that too. Ah, correct. That's what you were thinking? Okay. Why would Cody be looking somewhere else at the critical moment? Because he was looking at his camera. He was trying to take a picture. Hey, bullseye. What's your problem, Pops? You got a thing for picking on little kids? Pressing, not picking. Good job, Phoenix. Cody was lying clearly. Smart of you to realize there was no other way he could just stand there watching his hero and not take a picture. Right. Cody, there was only one reason why you would have looked away from the fight, and that was because you wanted to take a picture. But having just received your camera, you weren't used to using it yet. So you missed the climax of the fight, correct? Yeah. Well, Phoenix, I bet you anything he's hiding more than that. Have him testify again. Right. It means business. Your Honor, the defense would like to request that Cody Hatkins testify once more. Very well, Cody. Could you please tell us about your camera? And about why you didn't take a picture of the fight? Welcome to the real world, kid. Yeah, you're right, Pops. The Steel Samurai had just escaped from the clutches of the villain. So I held up my camera to take a picture, but the lens wouldn't open in time, so I missed it. That's all that happened. Yup. Anything strange in that testimony? I'm not sure. But I'd like to proceed with my cross-examination anyway. Yeah, you're right, Pops. Yeah, there's no reason to press this statement, I don't believe. Steel Samurai just escaped from the clutches of the villain. So you did see the beginning of the fight? Yeah. Did you notice anything unusual? Oh, well, I guess the Steel Samurai was moving a little strange. Strangely? So I held up my camera to take a picture. Why couldn't you take a picture? My new camera has too many buttons, I couldn't figure it out. I tried to take a picture, I really tried. But the lens just wouldn't open at the time, so I missed it. When the lens opened, what did you see? Well, a person on the ground and Steel Samurai. All that happened, yeah. That's all? Yeah, I told you I didn't take a picture. What if... Once I got the lens open, did he really not take a picture of the front? He definitely would have taken a picture. It's Cody. Listen up, Cody. I know exactly what happened. You took a picture. Hey, bullseye. How did you know? I see through all your lies, Cody. It's one of my powers. Wow, this feels great. Yeah, I took a picture. Perhaps you could change your testimony to reflect this, Cody. I took a few shots, but it was too late, so I erased them. You erased them? Yeah. Why would you erase a picture of your beloved Steel Samurai victorious? Well, you know, why would I want to keep a picture like that? It's becoming less and less cooperative. Better find a clear contradiction soon, or some solid evidence. Pick holes in such a short testimony. There has to be something. Dig up the dirt, Phoenix. Find out what this kid's all about. Few shots, but I was too late, so I erased them. Aha! I took a few shots, but it was too late, so I erased them. Certain photos of every victory scene in every battle the Steel Samurai has won. So, I'm assuming this is where I would present this as evidence for his contradiction, because if he has every picture of every Steel Samurai victory, then why wouldn't he have pictures of this Steel Samurai victory? Cody. What? Man, every time you say Cody, you follow with something bad. I just wanted to thank you for giving me this the other day. Huh? Oh, right. What was it you told me? I go to every live performance. I always take a picture when the Steel Samurai lands the final blow. With Sam, I got them all. I never missed one. Perfect collection. Cody, did you really get a picture of the Steel Samurai standing victorious over his foe? If you did, I find it hard to believe that you would just erase it. Wouldn't you keep it for your album? Ah, Mr. Wright. What exactly is this album? It's called Path to Glory. It's a collection of pictures of the Steel Samurai, all taken by Cody. He claims it's a perfect collection of every battle the Steel Samurai has won. I see. Don't you find this very odd, Your Honor? Among all of his pictures of the Steel Samurai, none were taken that day. Mr. Wright, have you an explanation? If the Steel Samurai had just defeated his adversary, I certainly would expect to see a picture of it in this album. Exactly my point, Your Honor. No, wait. No way. Phoenix, I think we finally discovered the truth. And what a truth it is. Hey, are we sure about this? Did he actually... Yes. I'm pretty sure what you're thinking is right. Tell them, Phoenix. Tell them what the truth is. Mr. Wright, please explain to the court what is going on here. Why was there no picture of the album from the day of the murder? Can you think of the reason, Glitch? Because I know you're still kind of paying attention. I'll wait for your response. Can you think of a reason as to why there was no picture, Glitch? You seem to be pretty smart about this, especially when you were thinking about, where was it before? Yeah, he tried to make a scene. What do you mean by he tried to make a scene? Tried to erase the evidence? Why would the boy have erased the photos he took? Well, when you see the options here, now take a guess. You have the photos were blurry, he erased them by mistake, or the Steel Samurai didn't win. But yeah, I wanted to give you a chance to see if you can think of the reason why before I gave you the multiple choice answers. The fight never happened in the first place. Well, unfortunately, that is not one of the three answers you have. If you look at one of these three answers, which do you think it is? 1, 2, or 3? Which one do you think was the reason why there were no, or the pictures were deleted? Going on 9 a.m. And not a whole lot of people are awake yet. I need to check something. Because of the grayed out photo. Well, the grayed out photo has nothing to do with his camera. The grayed out picture was taken from a security camera. Sorry, I'm logging on to something. Okay, it's gonna be later today. So, here's the actual correct answer. The correct answer is because the Steel Samurai didn't win. That's why, oh, okay. Well, see you later, Glitch. I could think of only one reason, Your Honor. The Steel Samurai didn't win. That's why Cody deleted those photos. You mean the Steel Samurai lost? Well, Cody, I'm right, aren't I? Tell the truth. The bad guy defeated the Steel Samurai. But no way, no! It's impossible. The Steel Samurai never loses. He never loses to anyone, ever! Your Honor, the witnesses revealed everything with his words. There was a reason why he lied and told us he didn't take a picture. The same reason he erased his precious photos. For Cody, it was inconceivable that the Steel Samurai could be defeated. However, Cody witnessed the impossible. He saw the Steel Samurai lose, yet to admit what he saw, he would destroy everything he believed in. That's why he lied and said the Steel Samurai won. He couldn't handle the truth. Order. I will have order. I mean, Cody, is this true? Did you see? Tell the court what you saw. This is where he starts crying, because it was correct. He did see the Steel Samurai lose. Cody, that day you saw the Steel Samurai lose a fight, right? Okay, you're right. The Steel Samurai fell down. Then he didn't move. Order! What kind of stunt are you trying to pull, right? The Steel Samurai was the murderer, not the victim. Yet according to your witness's testimony, the Steel Samurai was the one who fell. Mr. Wright, what's going on? Apparently we have all made a serious error. An error? What's this all about? The Steel Samurai was the victim, not Hammer was the victim. The Steel Samurai was the victim. If you understand what really happened, it's actually quite simple. At the end of the day, at the end of the fight, the Steel Samurai fell to the ground and lay still. In other words, the Steel Samurai was not the killer, he was the victim. Don't you see? Jack Hammer was the Steel Samurai. Order, order, order. So the Steel Samurai in this photograph, you're saying the man in this costume was the victim, Mr. Jack Hammer. That's what I'm saying, Your Honor. Jack Hammer was present at the action scene run through that. Thus, he obviously knew about Will Powers' foot injury. But wait, hadn't Mr. Hammer gone to Studio 1 already? That's what everyone thought. But remember what Miss Oldbag said in her testimony. On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 p.m. Did I see poor old Hammer? Nope. He'd already gone to the studio before I got back at the guard station. To Jack Hammer, left the employee area for lunch. However, no one saw him going to Studio 1, nor was there a picture of him. He waited for Mr. Powers to take a nap in his dressing room. Then he snuck into the dressing room and stole the Steel Samurai costume. But why would the victim do such a thing? I don't know. Get it? I thought that the Steel Samurai was moving strange, so it was a different person inside the suit. Pops! Huh? Me? What? Actually, there was one piece of data I saved. Data? Yeah, a photo of my digital camera. What? Show us, quick! No way, man, not if you're gonna look at me like that. Now! That's what the judge is like, now! Here, this is it. Now, looking at this, it's a little hard to say. I'm afraid that it could be anyone in that costume. Your opinion, Mr. Wright? I agree, Your Honor. This isn't decisive evidence. Sorry, this doesn't look like it's the proof we need. I'll give it back. Wait, Phoenix. Mia? What? Look at that photo once more. That's it, Phoenix. That photo is all the evidence you need to win this trial. What? Your Honor, may I see that photo once more, please? Certainly, I don't see why not. Phoenix, show him. There's a glaring, decisive inconsistency with the facts as we know them in that photo.
Take that!
Your Honor, look at this. I see a gate. Might I draw your attention to the number at the gate? The number? Oh yes, well it's hard to see, but it looks like a 2. Certainly not a 1, Your Honor, correct? Ah. I believe Mr. Edwards sees what I'm getting at. But that's impossible. Eh? What's this all about? Please explain so I may be shocked along with the rest of the court. Oh, the judge is so funny. He's like, explain so I can also be shocked? I want to be shocked too. I'll use the studio guide map. The body was found here in Studio 1. However, what do we see in this photo taken at the time of the murder? It does not say 1 on the gate in the photo. Your Honor, here's the true scene of the crime. Welcome back, Glitch. So you missed where we went and said the kid didn't take any pictures because he saw the Steel Samurai lose. So that's why he didn't want to keep any of his pictures. So he ended up deleting them because he hates the fact that his hero lost in a fight. Lost to the bad guy. So, so the kid ended up admitting it, but then he decided to show that, like, that's where we decided that the Jack Hammer wasn't the victim, it was the Steel Samurai who was the victim, and Jack Hammer was in the Steel Samurai costume. So he did end up taking a picture of the Steel Samurai at the entrance to the gate of Studio 2. So that's where we're currently at right now. explained the 2 on the gate in the photo. Your Honor, I find it very significant that the murder took place in Studio 2. The trailer is there, the path was blocked, no filming is done. The murder took place in Studio 2. The trailer is there. That's the interesting thing, though. Is it wasn't blocked. That explains the drag leg in the photo. Yeah, because it wasn't dragging a leg. It's just that Jack Hammer is nowhere near as tall as Will Powers. So he couldn't have the entire suit on without it dragging behind his feet. There was a trailer in the Studio 2. Now, on that day, a meeting was held in that very trailer. There was a break in the meeting corresponding to the time of death. During that break, Mr. Salmonella and Miss D. Vasquez were outside eating steak. They were at the scene of the crime. The path to the trailer was blocked, so we have heard. The path was blocked at 2:15. In other words, the victim went to Studio 2 before that time. Yes, I suppose that would be the case. Remember Mr. Salmonella's testimony, allowing to remind the court. He said no one in the trailer was guilty because they could not have gone to Studio 1. Yet, in actuality, the reverse was true. Only someone in the trailer could have committed this murder. They were the only ones with access to the scene of the crime, Studio 2. Order! The defense makes the following claims. The scene of the crime was Studio 2. The person that the security guard, Miss Oldbeck, saw was the victim, Mr. Jack Hammer. Mr. Hammer, for some reason, stole the Steel Samurai costume. Then he went to Studio 2. This is madness. Jack Hammer is the victim. The victim. Why would he steal a Steel Samurai costume? Are you suggesting he did it to cover up the details of his own murder? Well, no, of course not. Or do you have proof? Give me proof that the victim, Jack Hammer, stole the costume. You do, Mr. Wright. Surprised suddenly, I'm much less confident. Like, it's this picture right here. Because this is the proof that he was in, somebody shorter was in the samurai outfit. Oh, well, never mind. Here's my proof. Oh. That, it was the sleeping medic. See, I was thinking the photo too, and I was like, no, the sleeping medication. This is it. An empty medicine bottle? I found this on the table in the employee area. The same table where Mr. Hammer and Mr. Powers ate. The label reads, sleeping pills. Sleeping pills? The defendant, Mr. Powers, spent that entire afternoon sleeping. He was drugged by Mr. Hammer. Wait a moment. That bottle does raise some suspicions, yes, but there's no proof that Mr. Hammer used it. Your Honor, I have an idea. Test Powers' blood? It's Powers' blood? Fingerprint the bottle? Very well, let's hear it. I want to check this bottle for fingerprints. If my claim is true, Mr. Hammer's fingerprints should show up on this bottle. Suppose you're right. Very well, the court will take possession of the bottle. Scenes of the current trial for today. Cody Hackett's testimony has revealed new possibilities in this case. In fact, things may have happened very differently than we previously thought. The Steel Samurai seen by Miss Oldbeck may have been the victim, Jack Hammer. The scene of the crime was not Studio 1, but Studio 2, and those in the trailer did have time to commit murder. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. Your homework is to find the answer to the following question. Why would Mr. Hammer steal the samurai costume? Also, who killed him, and why? Find the answers for me by tomorrow. It's a lot of homework. Mr. Edward, you will need to reconsider your stance in this case. Above all, you will need to reconsider your suspicion of Mr. Will Powers. As you say, Your Honor, this trial will be extended until tomorrow. This is the last extension. Very well, court is adjourned. Well, there we go. Been able to push for an extension on the trial. That was a close one. We were saved by a hair. That's all that counts. I thought seriously about going home 3 times during the trial. Me too. Really? You both seem so confident. Maybe I should take up a career in acting. I was ready to pronounce you dead about 3 times back there. Me too. Dead? Of course we're kidding. Are you sure? I wasn't kidding. Now, Mr. Powers, we have to go make our final investigation, but I promise you we'll find the true killer by tomorrow's trial. All right, thanks. To be continued. Alright, we're moving on to the investigation part again. That was a close one, huh, Mia? Really? Too bad, I'm sorry, I missed it. Maya? So, what happened? Well, I think I've got a pretty good idea who did it. Now all I need is a motive and proof. Wow, good going, Nick. Under the initial trial system, tomorrow's the last day we have. Initial trial? What's that? That's the new court system they introduced 2 or 3 years ago. They had so many cases in the system, they decided to speed the whole process up. So under that system, trials have to end in 3 days? Yeah, pretty much. Well, we've no time to waste. I don't get it, Maya. Why would Mr. Hammer steal the samurai costume? What? You mean Mr. Hammer was wearing the costume? Yeah. But Mr. Hammer was the victim, Nick. How did he go through the trouble of stealing it? That's what we have to find out. What happened with the director's testimony? Well, it's pretty clear that the producer and the director were both in the trailer. Which means that the killer has to be one of them. Really? Why? Because the real scene of the crime was Studio 2, or the trailer, where that trailer is. I'm always this excited. Yeah, so since Mia was in control of Maya's body, Mia has no recollection of any of this. Well, have you noticed anything that might help us? Can't see what's going on when Mia is here. So no, I haven't noticed anything. Maybe we should go talk to WP. That's right. But yeah, so that's why it's like you can examine the room and everything. It's like favorite pot of plants. A nice day outside. Poster of an old movie. My desk. Oh, so desk. All the previous files. Is this Undertale or Phoenix Wright? Well, I know. One of the songs, it was the dating fight. It sounds pretty similar to this. So, in other words, what's his name? Tony Fox? Is that the guy's name who made Undertale? He must have had inspiration from Phoenix Wright when it came to some of its music. like the dating start theme or song like with Papyrus. It has like a similar tone as this song does. So he must have gotten inspiration from this game, and I know it's from this game because this game has been out since 2001, which is way before Undertale was even thought of. So he probably was a fan of the Phoenix Wright games growing up. Chara did take control of Frisk. Striped shirt. Well, that's a little different. That's more possession than it is, because like Mia is a spirit medium, so she's able to call on the spirit of her sister. So that's why when that happens, her sister is in control of her body. Determination is so. Anyway, we need to. Gotta go to the detention center and talk to Will Powers. Mr. Wright, you did very well again today. Thank you. Oh, thanks. Could you not look like you're about to burst into tears? Wow, Nick, you must have really wowed him in there. Could you wipe that grin off your face? Hey, WP, only one day left. Let's make it count. Yes, though there's not really anything I can do to help. I'm not really sure what I can do either. Please, this is no laughing matter. Could you tell me more about Miss Vasquez? Oh, the producer? She's well respected in the industry. They say she's a genius. A genius? She's been at Global Studios for 5 years now. Right or wrong, nobody dares tell her any different these days. Why is that? Ever since she came on board, we had nothing but hits. Global Studios was on its knees, but she picked it up and made it shine. Oh, and what? Nothing, forget it. I've only heard rumors anyhow. Give me a second. At different kinds of souls. Well, yes, that would be the story of Undertale. There we go. I guess I don't need that. Nobody's in the street chats. But yeah, I had to put some more of the, of some of this icy hot pain relief cream on my shoulder up here. It's like, it's just been really bothering me lately. And I keep trying everything. I've been trying to apply some of that on there to help, as well as been taking some like ibuprofen and stuff. But it's just been a pain. Director Man, can you tell me anything more about Mr. Manila? Oh, he used to be a minor straight-to video director. But something in his work called Vasquez's Eye. She brought the Steel Samurai idea to him. Now everyone knows the name Salmonella. It's pretty much at her beck and call, though. Whenever she says jump, he asks how high and all that. Imagine being at her beck and call, though. I can't imagine him jumping. Oh, okay. Well, see you later, Glitch. Hopefully I'll still be here. I was wondering about Mr. Hammer. He was a big star back in the day, right? But then he just dropped off the face of the earth. Oh, yes, you're right. In fact, he was my role model when I started in this business. But he just stopped taking on big roles. That's when he began appearing in little productions at Global. I was really looking forward to a sequel to Steel Samurai, or something, Samurai Summer, is that what she's saying? He just gave up being a star 5 years ago. Actually, now that I think about it, that was right when Miss Vasquez came to Global. Years ago. Back to the studio. Oh look, it's Miss Old Bag. Old Bag sure is quiet today. You know, this place is really peaceful. You eat, you die. Hey, she's alive. I was wondering about Dee Vasquez, the producer. Oh, the studio bigwigs love her. So she always gets her way. Do you not like the producer? Look, the studio people don't want me talking about her, so sorry. Can I ask you about Salmonella, the director? Sal? He's soft, a pushover, does whatever Vasquez tells him to. She treats him like dirt, but I think he likes it. Huh? Oh, they don't like being treated like dirt. Doesn't make any sense, does it, Nick? No, it doesn't. Said to the cheeky whippersnapper. Poor old Hammer. You drag his star down from the sky and stomp on it. On it. Criminal. I won't forget this. Uh-oh, she's really pissed off this time. You listen to me, whippersnapper. My old poor Hammer would never do such a thing. Why would he steal Power's costume? So he would sneak by me. He would never stoop so low. It's impossible. Thank you very much. Get that filth out of my sight. You're putting this poor old Hammer in there. I thought you were such an innocent youth. Bah. She's not going to feel like talking. Let's go to the employee area. Guess they're not filming today either. I want to see them filming. Just one time. This trial will be over and done by tomorrow. You can come see them film later. I guess. This is where you found that bottle of sleeping pills, right? I wonder if there's any other clues lying around. Yeah. No, touch it. Eek. Oh, sorry, pal. Didn't mean to frighten you. didn't mean? I almost had a heart attack. I guess I could be a little dramatique at times. Suppose that's the actor. No, Dick. No, it's not. Dramatique, indeed. Anyway, I'm here to examine the plate on that table. Looking for sleeping pills? Yeah, pal, traces thereof. So you're looking for traces of sleeping pills, how? For a thorough examination, I gotta take the plate back to the precinct. But I have the capabilities to make a cursory examination right here. Our science guy gave me some testing solution. This reacts to the sleeping pill. See, if there's traces, it'll change color. Wow, neat. Well, Detective Gumshoe, what are you waiting for? Now, everything in due time, pal. Well, the testing solution on the plate changed color, alright. So the food on this plate had been laced with sleeping pills. Looks like it. How goes your investigation? To tell you the truth, it's a real mess, pal. Some people think we should pursue the case we already have against Powers, and some people think we should switch suspects. What do you think, Detective Gumshoe? Oh, pal, I hate to admit it, but I'm not sure I buy the case against Mr. Powers anymore. I feel kind of bad for Mr. Edgeworth, though. How's Edgeworth doing anyway? Mr. Edgeworth is out of control. He was in the waiting room and he crushed his paper cup with hot coffee in it. Well, talk about burns, pal. Yeah, the fury of Edgeworth. Yeah, crushing paper cups. Cups, bottles. Say, what happened with that empty bottle? Oh, the bottle of sleeping pills? Well, I got some good news for you about that. They found the victim, Jack Hammer's prints on the bottle. So that means, yep, it sounds like the one who put Powers to sleep was none other than the victim. So I was right. Yeah, this is just all like pointless stuff. Pressure fruits unlocked. Looked at. So now we just go back to the movie. Oh, hello. What are you doing here? I was just cleaning up the dressing room. I guess WP won't be using it anymore, so... What? Why? But WP's innocent. Yes, and I'm really grateful for all you've done. But this week is the last episode of Steel Samurai. No. I was wondering if I could ask you about Mr. Hammer. Yes. On the day of the murder, he went to Studio 2. Huh? I thought he went to Studio 1. He stole the Steel Samurai costume too. Why would Mr. Hammer do something like that? Guess the rumor must be true then. Remember? Yeah, Miss Vasquez, that producer, had some kind of hold on Hammer. Yet she had some dirt on him. He'd do anything she said, apparently. Some dirt? What dirt? Dirt. You know, bad stuff. I know what dirt means. About 5 years ago, they were filming a movie starring Mr. Hammer. They were using the new Studio 2. Some sort of accident happened during the filming. After that, they never used Studio 2 again. They left the film set the way it was, too. Film set? Was that trailer part of the film set then? The last Steel Samurai. I know it's a shock, but nothing can be done to save it now. Whoever really did kill Mr. Hammer also signed the Steel Samurai's death warrant. Also, I hear that Global Studios Also, I hear that Global Studios is going to change its program. They're not going to make kids shows anymore. What? Why? It's sad, but that's what Global Studios decided. Are they going to make kids shows anymore? Studio bigwigs don't want the Steel Samurai around. They want to forget all this ever happened. What? How can they just do that? What about all the kids who love the Steel Samurai? It's okay, I'm sure the kids will be fine. They'll find a new hero. No, it can't be true. The program just ends, they'll be heartbroken, sure. Heck, say something. Yeah. The evidence, rather than words, is called for here. Here, take a look at this. Scissors? A fan collected all of these photographs. The kids love the Steel Samurai. This show shouldn't be canceled just so some adults can save face. I would think you would understand that better than anyone. You're right. Okay. But what can I do? Well, for starters, you can tell me something. Tell me what it is that Global Studios is so intent on hiding. Tell me about this accident 5 years ago. Okay. Tell us what happened 5 years ago? Well, I can tell you what I've heard. Apparently 5 years ago, someone died, and it was Hammer's fault. Someone died? It was an accident, of course. Anyway, the producer, Miss Vasquez, managed to hush it up. That's the dirt she had on Mr. Hammer. So Mr. Hammer would do anything Miss Vasquez asked him to do. But it was an accident. Why didn't they just make it public? Well, you know, Mr. Hammer was a big star back then. They were afraid about what would happen to his career if word got out. You know who knows more about this? Miss Oldbag. She was here at the studios back then, you know. Thanks, we'll try asking if she'll talk. What, you're still slinking around? I like the place so much, why don't you take over for me? The old windbag doesn't look so good. Everybody's doing their darndest to forget Hammer. Who do they think made Global Studios what it is today? Hammer. It's all due to Hammer. Froth at the mouth, Nick. Maybe we should keep a safe distance. I wonder if I asked you about 5 years ago. So the interesting thing is, she is constantly, like, you'll end up seeing her in later games too, which I think is kind of funny. I'm trying to remember her name. Is it Wendy Oldbag? It just lists her as security lady, but her last name is actually Oldbag. And she's just listed as assistant. But it does say her name is Penny. Oh yeah, Penny Nichols right there. Who told? Who did you hear that from? Huh? Nichols. Penny Nichols, the assistant we talked to. Oh, right. Anyway, we heard about the accident. It was during filming with Jack Hammer. He killed him, didn't he? Snappers? Perching up dirt on someone's past like that. Recently departed, and the recently departed, no less. I suppose you think this is fun. No, I'm just doing my job to protect Mr. Powers. And you claim that that Hammer stole Powers' costume? Do you expect me to believe that rubbish? Or do you have some kind of proof that the Hammer stole Powers' costume? No proof. I have a soul bag, but I didn't have proof. I could prove that Mr. Hammer stole Mr. Powers' costume. Here's my proof. What? What's a little empty bottle supposed to prove? It's a bottle of sleeping pills with Mr. Hammer's fingerprints on it. What's that proof? I'm sure old Hammer gets sleepless nights. Where's your proof that he used it on those pills? That he used those pills on Powers? Mr. Powers ate a T-bone steak for lunch, correct? Well, yes, so this is the plate that he used at steak. There are traces of sleeping pill powder on that plate. I see. Poor Hammer. You did wrong, Hammer. Rest your soul. Soul bag? Okay, you win. I'll talk. I'm tired, see? Tired of holding it all in. Soul bag. Right, 5 years ago there was an accident. A fatal accident. What's worse, a paparazzi took a photo of it. That photo, well, caused quite a stir. Guess who made it all better? Vasquez. She has ties to the mafia. She silenced that paparazzi. That was the beginning. That she became a force to be reckoned with here at the studio. I see. But you have to understand, poor old Hammer never meant any harm to anyone. So, hold on a minute. Here, take this. Photograph? Wait a second. This is the picture. Is this the trailer in Studio 2? Hammer was supposed to fight with the bad guy on top of those stairs. He pushed the other actor and the man fell onto a flower box fence. Someone exhaling into my frickin'... Like, I keep hearing like this sound, and then I look over and nobody's in the frickin'... It just seemed like somebody would join in here and then I would hear a sound. It happened twice. Okay then. But how did you get this? It was a long time ago. I don't feel much like talking about it. Understand? 5-year-old Biddy. 5-year-old phone. Let's go to the outside studio one. Think back, Nick, to the day of the murder. Mr. Hammer put on the Steel Samurai costume, then he left from here to go to Studio 2? Right, but why? I wonder if someone called him? Like the director or the producer? Yeah, I can't go to Studio 1, I think. Hey, Nick. Nice fast skins. Hello. 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 Maya, you should at least try to be polite. Watching the clouds. That's all she had to say, apparently. Excuse me, Mr. Hammer came here on the day of the murder, and perhaps you didn't be watching the clouds. Oops. I'm not interested in talking to you. Do something, Nick. She's really tipping me off. Mr. Powers wasn't the killer. You don't have to cancel the Steel Samurai. I'm tired of the Steel Samurai. Nick, she did it. She's the killer. My Fey blood speaks to me. I know what I know. I was wondering if you could tell me about Mr. Manila. If you must talk about that man, perhaps you could talk about it in the trailer by yourselves. What? Where did you get that? Right, well. She needs security later, Miss Oldback-Nick. Right, anyway. Miss Vazquez, you hid this incident from the press, didn't you? Used it to control Mr. Hammer. When? Huh? It's gotten stronger, don't you think, the wind? The conversation interests me. Let's talk about it more inside the trailer. Nick, she went inside the trailer. Is that what that's supposed to be? A trailer? I thought it was a cabin. Closer inspection, this trailer looks like it's been here for a while. I don't think this is part of some temporary film set. There's some flowers here. Ah, so pretty. They're taking good care of these. Don't get too close. That fence looks dangerous. Yeah, you can see it bent and broken right there. The door, it's unlocked. Yeah, I would hope so. It's being called to go in there. These look like the materials for making a movie set. They've been sitting here for quite some time. This might as well be junkyard. This is where Salmonella and Vivasquez ate. There's nothing left on the plates. Hey, so they ate T-bone steaks too. Nothing wrong? I don't know, I'm getting this funny feeling. Something about this just feels odd, you know? Can't say that I do. At least not yet, anyway. Incinerator. Apparently they just put this one in. It's already covered in soot. They must not clean it much. Light van for moving staff and equipment around. They've kept it in pretty good shape. Looks like it runs fine. Let's go for a drive. Sure, if I had a license. Nick, you don't have a driver's license? But look, I have this. Who are you showing me? Or why are you showing me your attorney's badge, Nick? It was like Nietzsche. There's a big 2 painted here. So this is the number 2 in Cody's photograph. And to think if he had brought in the photograph in, don't get all teary-eyed yet. I wasn't getting teary-eyed. You're getting teary-eyed. I'm trying to see if somebody just pops in there again, because I literally twice heard what it sounded like somebody exhaled into my ear, like in my headset. It happened twice, and I looked over to the Discord and the streaming voice chat, and nobody was in there. And I'm like, how did I hear somebody breathe into my mic twice, or into my ears twice? And at first, I thought it was because my fan, maybe it picked up something and it just came back through the headset, but I have my mic up. So, I don't know, it just doesn't make any sense. Okay. Well then, what was it you were talking about? Just over here to talk about this. Miss Vasquez. You were using that accident. You were blackmailing Mr. Hammer so you could control him, weren't you? That's why he was doing kid shows for petty change. So I'm a blackmailer now. Well, that's what it was, wasn't it? Being sure it was an accident, but you used it to drag Mr. Hammer down from his rightful place as a star. Oh? I haven't pulled anyone down from anyone. Mr. Hammer's career went sour of its own accord. But you were the cause. You pressured him. And to think it was just an accident. Excuse me. What is this all about? You keep saying accident, accident. How are you so sure? Must I spell everything out for you? Think. What would it be if it wasn't an accident? No way, you mean Mr. Hammer did it on purpose? That is what I mean. Where's your proof? Can you prove it? Just think. Would he have let me run his life for 5 years over here an accident? I ran hard, believe you me. But the security lady said it was an accident. Oh, well, she is a big fan of hammers, you see. She jumped on the reporter who brought that photo into the studio. She wrenched it out of his hands, she did, and gave him a few bruises, too. That's what she did. She's an old fool. Of course, all the reporter would need is the negatives. But he didn't. The only copy of that photo is the one you hold. Give it to me. Now. What? This is valuable evidence. Boys! Oh. Who are they? Professionals. They're good at erasing various things. What do you think? Would you like to be erased? What? The trial ends tomorrow? How unfortunate. Hey, you'll have to miss it. Tell me why. Why do you want this photograph so badly? This is Mr. Hammer's dirt. No. Why should D. Vasquez care about it at all? I'm sure you'll have plenty of time to think about that where you're going. So long, friends. Boys, erase away. Hold it right there. I heard everything. D. Vasquez, you're coming down to the precinct with me now. Not bad. Very well. It appears this contest will be decided tomorrow after the court. I'll be looking forward to it. She's gonna be a tough nut to crack. Hey, you okay, pal? Sorry I was a little late with my entrance. I don't get many chances to practice that sort of thing. Detective Gumshoe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I was really scared. Don't mention it, pal. Just doing my job. Detective Gumshoe? Sorry, it's just... I wanted to say that line ever since I became a detective. Okay, I've got one more job to do today. I'm sure we'll run into each other again soon. And this right here makes me think that he's just a mouth breather. Because he's clearly breathing, but he's doing it through his mouth. He's a pretty heavy set guy. By heavy set, I mean like he's just very broad. But I actually like Dick Gumshoe. Oh, man, it looks like we're getting close to the bottom of this. Who's at the bottom? D. Vasquez. All that's left is the final trial. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. Prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Defense is ready, Your Honor. Today will be the final day of this trial. Both prosecutors will continue to present decisive evidence. Very well, Mr. Edmund, company said. In yesterday's session, the defense presented us with a new theory. this case. He claims that the scene of the crime was, in fact, Studio 2. Today, we'll call on people present in Studio 2 trailer that day. When their testimonies, the truth will become clear. Very well. Seems a bit unhinged. Likely because he can't continue against the case against Mr. Will Powers. Question calls Miss D. Vasquez to the scene. Miss D. Vasquez is the producer who was present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. State her name on D. Vasquez, producer of the Global Studios. On the day of murder, you were in the trailer in Studio 2. Yes. Just like needless men, you must pontificate. Do it whenever. Very well, Miss Vasquez. Please give the court your testimony concerning the day of the murder. Nick, if she did it. Right. He's guilty. I'll catch her with her pants down, so to speak. This testimony. Enter the trailer a little before noon. The meeting began at noon, and it ended at 4 p.m. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. At 2:30, we took a 15-minute break at the meeting. Sal and I ate T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer. Found Amber's body later when we all went to Studio 1. So, I have a question about one part of your testimony. You were fatigued, so you had Sal take you? The van. There's a van at Studio 2. I had him take me in that. I thought it might be risky to walk, what with that monkey's head toppling over. Ah, I see. Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. This is the final battle, Nick. Let's do it. Entered the trailer a little before noon. By yourself? Yes. You didn't stop in the employee area? No. You always this terse? Yes. Oh dear. Oh dear. The meeting began at 12 sharp. Did anyone leave during the meeting? No. Let's talk a little bit more about that. Wits did not completely engage in that conversation. Stop interrupting the testimony. Same what I said to you, Mr. Wright. Please stop banging on the desk. It hurts my ears. She just gives everybody shit, basically. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. And when exactly was that? I forgot. You could try remembering. The meeting ended at 4, and the rehearsal was scheduled for 5. What do you think it was between those times? And you think? Come on. All you did was state the obvious, Edgeworth. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. Hold on. You had Sal take you? What does that mean? It means what I just said. Had Sal take me to Studio 2. I had Sal take me in the Studio 2 van. Oh, alright. 2:30, we took a 15-minute break in the evening. What were you doing during that time? Don't picture this. It irritates me. Yeah, Mr. Wright. Yeah! Oh, wait. It's a 15-minute break. Sal and I ate T-bone steaks at the table. Do you have someone who can verify this? Sal? No, someone else. One person is enough. But I'm sure you'll find some kind of contradiction in what she said somewhere. I feel like I have to present something somewhere. I did not mean to do that again. For her, she wouldn't have time to eat a T-bone steak. If I had some evidence that proved she didn't eat that steak. Evidence even prove she didn't T-bone steak. I guess if he showed up in the samurai thing, she wouldn't have had time to eat it because she'd be dealing with Hammer in the Steel Samurai. This one? No. Okay. I don't remember what it was that I'm supposed to present. I didn't mean to push L again, god damn it. I have to go on with that. I honestly don't remember what was the correct answer here. Huh. As I thought. You claim you ate a T-bone steak, but I say you did not. What's this now, Mr. Wright? Look at this. It's a plate. This plate was on the table at the employee area. As you can see, a large bone has been left behind. Mr. Mr. Wright, need to remind you that it was a T-bone steak? Exactly my point. Remember, if you will, Miss Vasquez and Mr. Manila ate at a table outside the trailer. Yet there were no bones left on the plates. The plates were bare. Miss Vasquez. Tell me, how can a person eat a T-bone steak and not leave the bone? I think I know. The bone, too! You ate a boneless steak? You didn't eat the steak. You didn't eat any steak during that break. You took your steak and threw it somewhere. Like that Incinerator. I see what Miss Vasquez doing during the break. Was that obvious anymore? Meeting the Steel Samurai. Picking on Sam. She was meeting with the Steel Samurai. Order. Are you saying? Yes, you are. As Miss Vasquez left the trailer to eat her steak, she ran into the Steel Samurai. And then you did it. You killed her. Right, isn't that a little presumptuous? What kind of stunt are you trying to pull, Mr. Wright? Let him claim what he wants. You say I did it? Yes. Fascinating. Here I was worrying that today would be as boring as all the rest. Very well. Let us have a battle of wits, you and I. Any day, Vasquez. Good luck, Nick. Let's see. What was that murder weapon again? Oh yes, the samurai spear. Yes. I am, as you can see, a woman of petite stature. How could I possibly use that heavy spear as a weapon? Like, I think you could. You could you? I think you would have a great deal of difficulty using that as a weapon. Pretty much anyone would. Huh. You see? Yes, however, that has no bearing in this case. Meaning, the samurai spear was not the murder weapon. What? What is the meaning of this? The spear was found lying next to the victim's body. I have proof, Your Honor. I could prove that the samurai spear was not used as the murder weapon. And it would be this picture. Wrong, Mr. Wright, but I haven't said anything yet. I know you well enough by now that you're not going to present the wrong evidence. I can sense it too, with my fey blood. Okay, so I picked the wrong evidence. Enough with all the sensing, right? Okay, here's the real evidence. I can prove that the samurai spear was not used as the murder weapon. I thought it was going to be that, actually. Present my proof, the so-called murder weapon. But that is the murder weapon. Not so fast. Remember that the spear broke during this morning's action scene 1 through, but someone fixed the spear. It was the security lady. She fixed it with duct tape. Now tell me, how is this possible for someone to stab a man who is wearing a thick costume like this through the chest? Order, Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? Think about what you're saying. I'm the one testifying here, and I will be heard. She's just not letting him talk at all. Can you tell us what weapon was used to kill Mr. Would I make a claim like that if I couldn't tell you what the weapon was? I'm afraid your confidence would sometimes be unfounded, Mr. Wright. Very well, let's see this murder weapon. The murder weapon was my attorney bag! Look at this photo. Look at this photograph. Who's this? Why, that's Jack Hammer standing on top of the stairs. Order! Order! If I cannot have order, this trial will be suspended. Mr. Wright, what is all of this all about? This photograph is from 5 years ago, where there was an unfortunate accident in Global Studios. This is a photo of that very accident. Not a word of this was leaked to the outside. It was a close-kept secret at the studios. What does this have to do with the current case? Mr. Edgeworth, you still can't see it. See the fallen man in this photo? See how the fence post pierced him through the chest? You saying... Yes. What happened 5 years ago... has happened again. Mr. Wright continued. It's 2:30 p.m. on the day of the murder. Miss D. Vasquez meets Jack Hammer outside the Studio 2 trailer. Then she did. She pushed Mr. Hammer off the stairs onto the fence. Just like Mr. Hammer had himself done 5 years ago. Though whether she did it on purpose or by accident, I cannot say. In other words, the victim, Mr. Hammer, he died in the same way that he caused another man to die. 5 years ago. So that's ironic, isn't it? Oh, very creative, Mr. Wright. I could use a man like you in my script writing study. Deny that what I say is true. Mr. Wright, let's say for the sake of argument that Hammer died at the trailer, as you say. Yet the body was found at Studio 1, was it not? And in the evil magistrate's costume, no less. Are you then claiming that I carried the body to Studio 1 and returned to the trailer all in the space of a 15-minute break? How could I have disposed of the body? The break in the meeting of the trailer lasted 15 minutes from 2:30 to 2:45. The jackhammer had been pushed off the stairs to his death, then carried to Studio 1 and placed inside his costume. There wasn't enough time. Well, Mr. Wright, how could she have dealt with the body? That she couldn't do it. She had another. What if she had another way to carry the body other than with her own hands? For instance, actually, for that matter, there was no need for her to do the deed in 15 minutes. And there was a way for you to carry that body. Interesting, let's hear it then. Mr. Wright, this shows how she carried the body. In the van. Miss Vasquez, you carried the body to Studio 1, and you used the studio van to do it. Yep, the studio van. Hey there, Ferret. To be a rehearsal after we moved to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had sound taken. It's a band down, right? I had sound drive. He used the van to carry the body to Studio 1. Then, before everyone else got there, he put the body into the magistrate costume. Hold on, Wright. Don't forget it was Sal Manella that drove the van. Are you suggesting that Mr. Manella was a conspirator? I don't think he was a conspirator. Of course he was. Huh, so without Mr. Manella noticing anything, she put the body in the van, then managed to put the body into the costume? Are you suggesting that it's possible? Of course I'm not serious. Huh? kidding, to lighten up the proceedings. You can't lighten up a murder. Mr. Wright, the court requested you frame for making claims in jest. Yes, Your Honor. Of course Salmonella has to have been the conspirator. I just thought it was funny to say, of course not. The body had to be placed in the van and put into the costume. There's no way Miss Vasquez could have done that alone. Also, don't forget that they had to dispose of the steel samurai costume. They had to because it was covered in Mr. Hamer's blood. They probably burned it in that small incinerator. Oh, Miss Vasquez, shall I continue? No need. You're smarter than you look, Mr. Wright. I lose, you win. It was fun. Everyone's just silent. So, what happens next? Don't me. Don't you have anything to say? What would you like me to say? I lost, something like that? I just said that. Wait, so you mean D. Vasquez, so it was you. You killed Jack Hammer. Silent again. Who can say? Are you sure I did, Mr. Wright? We just engaged in a battle of wits. The result of that battle, you proved the possibility that I murdered Hammer. But that is only a possibility. Proof is another thing altogether. You lack decisive proof, Mr. Wright. What? What, Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Of course, it's as the witness says. Certainly, it does seem very likely she did it, but there's no proof. Edgeworth isn't sure. Well, I came here as a witness today. If you have no more questions, I'll be leaving. What do I do now? You did Vasquez. Testify again, Vasquez. No further questions. Even if I were to testify again, I won't say what I said before, the truth, Mr. Wright. I've already said it all, but let's just say what happened if I said it again. You'd ask the same questions, get the same answers. A waste of time. As it seems there are no further questions, I would like to end the cross-examination of witness, Miss Vasquez. Yes, Mr. Wright. I was hoping to come to the question while I was objecting, Your Honor. I didn't. I see. Very well. Your Honor, I request that the witness testify again. You are the prosecutor, are you not? Why are you badgering me? I am your witness. I just want to hear your testimony. Does this make any sense to you, Your Honor? I don't see why we have anything to gain by repeating the last several minutes. I too see little point in Miss Vasquez repeating yourself. What exactly do you want to hear testify about? Well, yes, indeed. Verily, I say, ergo, I want to hear about what happened after they found the body. After they found the body? Very well. The witness will testify to the court concerning this matter. Nick, why did Edgeworth? Who knows? He probably realized she did it too. But, wasn't he the one that said he always gets a guilty verdict? After all that, Edgeworth. It's the turning point of Edgeworth. I was with Sal and Oldbag, the security lady, when we found the body. The assistant was there too, only Powers was absent. I immediately called the police, then Powers showed up. The security lady Oldbag was quite agitated, pointing at Powers, saying he did it. I asked to be left out of the proceedings. I went back to the trailer to get my script and directions. Then I went home. She may be acting tough now. Put her on the spot, she's sure to falter. Find the key you need and twist the truth out of her neck. Right. I was with Sal and the back security lady when we found the body. What time was it? We were to meet at 5 o'clock for the rehearsal, so I'd say it was then. When exactly did you and Mr. Manella arrive at the studio? About 10 minutes before. I wasn't stuffing any bodies in the costumes. There were the other employees when you got to the studio. They weren't there yet. Oh, then you could have put in the costume with Sal Manella's help. No? What did I just say? Did I not just say I wasn't stuffing any bodies in the costumes? Try to listen to what people are saying, boy. Okay. Witness will continue her testimony. The assistant was there too. Only Powers was absent. Mr. Powers was taking a nap, correct? So he says. Did no one go to call him? Remember what? There was a dead body lying in front of us. Yet you expect me to be calm? You certainly seemed calm enough when I accused you of murder. Wait a second, wouldn't that be the other way around? The other way around? You discovered a murdered body and one person was missing, right? Wouldn't you normally go looking for the missing person? I have to agree with the defense on this one. Well, Miss Vasquez. Logically speaking, perhaps, but no one there was thinking very logically, I assure you. Also, without the steel samurai costume, Powers doesn't really stand out. We often left him on the bus when shooting at location. No one noticed he was missing. I suppose that explains that. Very well, Miss Vasquez, you may continue. I immediately called the police, then Powers showed up. What was everyone else doing at that time? No one said a thing. It was silent, completely silent. So we stood there until Powers finally arrived on the scene. Sorry, I'm late. Then silence. Dead silence. Just silence. Silence. Hey, Nick. Listen, someone should do something. The security lady old bag was agitated, pointing at Powers, saying he did it. Why did the security lady think Powers had done it? She said because she saw him going towards the studio. Right, the steel samurai. Did the detective arrest Mr. Powers based solely on what the security lady's ordered? Perhaps not. She seems to have also given the detective that photograph. Of course, I heard all of this after the fact. She's not known for exhibiting the best sense of judgment when it comes to hammering. I asked to be left out of the proceedings. Asked to be left out? Yes. It seems that everyone else was questioned. I'm really not fond of that sort of thing. But you can't just decide who the police will and won't question. Thankfully, the studio thinks otherwise. They were nice enough to understand that since we were in a meeting. There was no way we could have been involved, thus they covered for us. All those bigwigs of the meeting, I'm sure they're professionals how to convince everyone they didn't quite question. Going back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. Script and your direction notes. Yes, they're quite valuable. It wouldn't do to have them stolen. It's not. Wait a second, I thought you came to Studio 1 for a rehearsal. Why didn't you bring your script and notes? Well, I was under the impression that we wouldn't be able to rehearse anything. There was a murder after all. Who could think of rehearsing after that? Oh yeah, I guess. Very well, Miss Vasquez, continue. Your Honor, I have an objection to the witness's last statement. Yeah, this is where he's like, yeah, because she's just like, I was under the impression we weren't rehearsing anything. Yes, but how could you have known there would have been a body before finding the body? Think. Miss Vasquez said she didn't bring the script because there wouldn't be a rehearsal. Don't you see what that means? She would have had to know about the murder before going to Studio 1. Order, Mr. Edgeworth. What you have just said is a reasonable observation. However, I find it hard to understand why the prosecution would make such a move. Or are you thinking of a career change to defense? I appreciate the concern. I will stand by my statement, however, regardless of how the court sees my role. Now, Ms. Vasquez, do you have an explanation if the Edgeworth is helping? The prosecution is who to the defense. What kind of court is this? No matter. I think you misunderstood me. I had a perfectly good reason to believe there would be no rehearsal. Very well, the witness will change her testimony to reflect this reason. I knew that Hamburg was injured and couldn't do any action scenes, so I left them behind. How did you know about the injury? I know. Sal, he told me. Sal, correct. You have to find something fix on her, or everything we've done till now would have been wasted. Nick, go get it. Couldn't do any action scenes. Sorry about that. Is this where I would present this photo? I'm wanting to think it's the picture, though. You knew that Hammer was injured? Don't you think that's a little funny? I mean, it was the Steel Samurai who was injured. It was Will Powers. Oh yeah, because she said Hammer, not Will Powers. Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Yes, Mr. Hammer is dragging his leg in this photo. That's because he was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Pretending? One person was injured in the run-through that morning. That person was Mr. Powers, not Mr. Hammer. I didn't even catch on to the fact that she said Mr. Hammer was injured. I feel stupid. Now, why do you think it was Mr. Hammer who was injured? I already said it. It was Sal who told me. That's right, you must have gotten it wrong. I think not. Mr. Manella was at the run-through that morning. He would have known Mr. Powers who was injured and saw it happen. Why would you tell you the wrong person? Miss Vasquez, you heard Mr. Manella wrong. You saw Hammer limping. Actually, you didn't hear anything from Mr. Manella. You saw Mr. Hammer limping with your own eyes. Yes, but wasn't Mr. Powers who was injured? Yes, but remember, Mr. Hammer was dragging his leg too. He was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Ah, and when he was doing this, well, it would have to have been after he put on the Steel Samurai costume and went to Studio 2 where he was murdered. Exactly. Miss Vasquez, you met him, didn't you? You saw the Steel Samurai limping. And Mr. Hammer was in that Steel Samurai suit. That's why you were confused. That's why you thought it was Mr. Hammer who had been injured that morning. Order! Order! I will have order! Witness. Can you refute this claim? Hmm. Yeah, let's see you sneak out of this one, Vasquez. Very well. I have a question for you. Real killer's always so persistent. Why in the world would I want Mr. Hammer dead? Yes, he'd fallen on hard times, but he was a star. Had nothing to gain from his death. Nothing. Yes, you would need a motive. Why would she have killed the victim? If there was a reason, it is unclear to this court. Does the defense have anything to say on this matter? In other words, can you prove that she had a motive? Okay, I have proof and I'll show it to you. I present to the court the evidence as his motive in this murder. I feel like it's this right here. This is my proof. This is the photo from before. This photo reveals the motive in this murder. I'm right, aren't I, Miss Vasquez? She's just making sounds now. 5 years ago, Mr. Hammer was at the height of his fame. With D. Vasquez's help, a terrible accident was swept under the carpet. Ladies and gentlemen, this case currently up for trial. It began on that day 5 years ago. Ironically enough, that accident precipitated Mr. Hammer's fall. His fall from stardom. His guilt weighed him down like that. However, you, D. Vasquez, used Mr. Hammer. You made him work for you for petty change. Bringing us to the present day and Mr. Hammer's last role as the evil magistrate. Yes, undoubtedly it was a constant source of shame for the ex-star. One moment, Mr. Wright. We are talking about motives here. You have only talked about Mr. Hammer. It almost seems as if it was Mr. Hammer who had killed D. Vasquez, not the other way around. What motive would Miss Vasquez have? Yes, that's right. According to what you say, I would have had no reason to kill Mr. Hammer. He was a good source of income for me. And I never get rid of useful men. It's a policy of mine. Mr. Wright, please explain Miss Vasquez's motive for Well, to be fair, she actually really didn't have any motive. When you think about it. Because you don't really have any evidence of a motive. She actually did not have any motive for killing him. She had no motive, Your Honor. What's that now? It was Mr. Hammer who was out for blood. All Miss Vasquez did was push him off the stairs in self-defense. What's that now? It's simple. Mr. Hammer was intending to kill Miss Vasquez. What? Your Honor. Jackhammer drugged Mr. Powers with sleeping pills. Jackhammer snuck into the dressing room and stole the Seal Samurai costume. Jackhammer wore the costume to fool the security lady into thinking it was Powers. Then Jackhammer made his way to the trailer. And for what purpose, you ask? To kill D. Vasquez, who had so cruelly taken advantage of him all those years. So you did do it, didn't you? Yes. I am guilty. It was me. Someone call an ambulance. There's blood everywhere. We're too late. Ah, Miss Vasquez. What? What happened here? Manuel fell from the trailer stairs. Manuel! Miss Vasquez, please try to remain calm. No, how could this? It was an accident. Mr. Hammer was doing an action scene and... No, Manuel! Don't touch him, Miss Vasquez! No! Please don't die, please! I'm guessing she actually loved whoever that person was. Congratulations, Mr. Wright. I lose. Again. That's pretty much calm and collected as ever. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. It appears that you have brought about yet another miracle. Thank you, Your Honor. I think not, Your Honor. Will Powers was innocent. That he should be found so is only natural, out of miracle. Yes, you're right. Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, not guilty. Because of course he's not. It was quite obvious. That is all. The court is adjourned. Hey, thank you so much. I'm just glad you're okay. Yes, but it's sad. I know now that Mr. Hammer stole my costume. It's bad enough that he wanted to kill Miss Vasquez. But to think that he tried to frame me for the murder makes me sad. Tell me why, Mr. Wright. Huh? Tell me, why did Mr. Hammer want to blame me? Put the blame on you because you were the Steel Samurai. So as the Steel Samurai, Mr. Hammer was big star of Wits, but he was reduced to acting in a kids show and as the villain to boot. The kids loved the Steel Samurai, and so he hated you. I understand. He could have just told me. I would have changed places with him any time. I think you're missing the point. Thank you. I'm just glad it's all over. Go bye. Congratulations, WP. Oh, hey. Thanks to you, I'll be able to don the Steel Samurai outfit once more. I can't wait to get back into that sweaty costume. Is something wrong? No, of course not. Nick, Edgeworth. Say something, right? I'm not good at small talk. What? That was too bad, Edgeworth. You don't waste any time gloating, do you? No, I really want to thank you. Vasquez would have gotten away if you hadn't stepped in. Pleased to meet you. I'm Powers, Edgeworth. I'm a big fan of your work, Mr. Powers. See, this is kind of one of those points where you actually see a nicer side of Edgeworth. He's not all stone. Liar. Right? I must say, I hadn't expected to meet you again after all these years. Meet again? However, in retrospect, it would have been better had we not met. Thanks to you, I'm saddled with unnecessary feelings. Unnecessary feelings, yes, unease and uncertainty. Aren't those kind of necessary? They only serve to get in my way. You listen to me, Phoenix, right? Don't ever show your face in front of me again. That's what I came here to tell you. Mr. Wright? Was that guy your friend? What? Friends? As if. They're rivals. Rivals, right, Nick? For now we are, I guess. Huh? Why do I get the feeling I'm missing something? Come on, Nick, tell me. What's the deal with you and Edgeworth? So the curtain closed on another trial. I caused quite a stir by revealing that accident from 5 years ago. It was the talk of the town. Thankfully, Global Studios rethought its programming changed. They went back to making the kids show again. Nick, this is it. The new show starts today. We're going to watch it with you, right? I'll admit I was kind of surprised. I didn't think they'd seriously go through with it. You have to buy trading cards too, okay? We have to trade with Cody and that assistant. Fine, I'll do it. Isn't it great that WP gets to play the lead again? Wonder if they'll show his real faces. I don't think the world is ready for the real Will Powers. Pink Princess. I wonder how that would have turned out. A brand new episode has been added. So, that is actually going to be the start of the next time I stream this, because it's going to be the beginning of Chapter 4, which is the final case for the first game. And then after that, because that one's probably going to... I don't know if I'll stream the entire chapter, because the fourth chapter is always the longest. It's also because the trials and the investigation, all this stuff, also lasts for frickin' ever. Because I think in this one, you actually get to do a little bit of investigating before you actually start the legitimate trial. So, but yeah, I'm gonna end that right here. So thanks for watching, everybody. I don't know if I'll stream anything else for today, but this was something I just felt like doing. But for now, I'm probably gonna get something to eat because I'm starting to get a little hungry. Because it's been about 5 hours since I last ate, so no wonder I'm getting hungry. But yeah, so thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.